Watch me take this graphic from this to this. Hey, and welcome to today's episode of Make It Your Own Design Academy. My name is Cynthia Akita, and I am your brand strategist, designer, and educator here at the Design Pharmacy. Now, today we are working on this praise and worship flyer. We're going to change it to like a speaker flyer. If you are an entrepreneur that has webinars or workshops, like this is the type of flyer that you can kind of work on. So I'm just going to duplicate it as I typically do. And you can see in the background that there are like textures, right? Textures, lines. And then in the back, I think there's like some clouds and like things of that sort. And then I believe, if I'm not mistaken, is this an arbor? Okay, so this is part of the photo. So this is going to be a vital part of the design because it kind of sets the tone for what your audience is going to experience. So, you know, the theme is praise and worship, right? But then because it's praise and worship, you see people with their hands raised. So if you're doing like a business meeting or something of that sort, you're going to want to have that in the background as well. So let's go ahead and we're going to look for a photo to swap that out. So I'm going to do business conference. Why am I in videos? Photos. All right, so something like this would work because you see the backs of people's heads. You don't want to focus too much on their faces because we just don't want to focus on their faces. The back of the head means that you won't really get distracted by their features or what they're wearing and things like that. Now, another thing about this is because it has the filter, the black and white filter, it automatically goes to that. But you could also do a filter of your own, which like if you wanted to be, it's actually not even letting me change this. Interesting, I have to see what was originally on there. All right, so this has been set up, which is cool, which is fine. If you wanted the color to show, you could just delete the photo and just reinsert that. And then I'll see if I can remember. I'll duplicate the final look and then change it to like a colored look. So trying to make a mental note. Hopefully I can remember to do that. So we're going to go with this photo here. I actually want to insert the speaker's face here. So I'm going to move things to the side. But I do want to change the background and a bit of the textures here. So in the middle, you're going to see some white fog. That's what gives this look here where you don't see that straight cut off on the photo, which is a great touch. It makes things, it makes things a lot softer. And it allows the two photos to blend well. So as you can see up here, there's some clouds at the top. So we just need to find a photo for the top as well. It could be very abstract, something with lots of white space. So this is cool. You can see it's faded so that you see more of the white. What I'm gonna do is actually zoom in so that we don't see too much of people's heads, because it's just more so about the windows, and just add in some texture, because texture makes graphics look really good. You know, even though you see more of the white, the fact that there's something going on in the background, it just makes our eyes happy somehow, rather than just looking at something that's so plain. So I'm gonna increase the transparent just a little bit. Okay, now you see these lines here. So I typed in line pattern and then I went to graphics. So we're gonna get rid of these here. And this is a great point for anyone who has brand patterns. I always talk about how important it is to have some brand patterns. It is one of the best investments you're going to make for your business, because it allows you to, or it allows your brand to have some personality. And it's hard to have personality. Excuse me. It's hard to have personality when you're stuck with just one image. And so at my design firm, GD Design Firm, we actually create full-blown brand suites for businesses. And so we do, you know, the typical logo, the main logo that people see. And then we also go ahead and do, based on the brand and the plan for that brand, we go ahead and we do some icons, we do patterns, we do logo variations, because your logo has to look good in multiple spaces. And so that one picture that most people get is not enough. And so we make sure that you're equipped and ready for where your business is right now, but also where it plans to be in the future. So go ahead and visit GD Design Firm if you need your branding assets done, and that's GYIDI designs.com. I'll try to remember to put that down below for you guys. And so you could also feel free to ask me some questions. If you want me to look at some things for you, you could also book a consultation at mybranddetox.com. And you can book a consultation there. I can look over what you have and give you some recommendations for what your brand assets should include. And if maybe it's not the best imagery, I will also talk to you about what it could potentially look like and how your audience can respond to some upgrades. So feel free to visit mybranddetox.com to book those consultations. All right, so we've added some line patterns here, just again for some texture, just so it's not a plain white background. And don't get me wrong, plain white backgrounds are also fine, they're also great, but again, it depends on your brand and what your visual identity is supposed to look like. So that's going to look different for every business, and that's totally fine. It's not supposed to look the same for everyone. So this part is going to take a little bit of time, so I'm just going to go ahead and group them now. I was just trying to think that through, because once I change the font, I'm going to have to like select it all over again and kind of fix it. So let me change the text now. So I'm going to change this to November 27th, which is actually my birthday. And I should put the actual day as a Thursday, Thanksgiving Day this year. I haven't had my birthday on Thanksgiving in forever. So I'm actually kind of excited that it's on Thanksgiving this time around, because people always mistake my birthday for Thanksgiving Day every single year, even though the days change, like the calendar moves. They still say happy birthday to me on Thanksgiving Day. So this time around, at least they will be correct this time. So yeah, that's just a fun fact there. And I don't like that they used the dot instead of a colon, so I'm just gonna put a colon for the time, 7 p.m. I could even change it to 7:30, just so it has a cool effect with the numbers. All right, so y'all think I should change the font? Let me see. Big Shoulders is really similar. All right, let's do that. Big Shoulders. And so just so you guys know, you don't have to do text where you type in all caps. Like, you don't have to use caps lock to get the all caps. I mean, that's one way to do it, but if you decided you didn't want it in all caps anymore, then you would have to retype it. So you could just type it out and then use these double A's right here to make it uppercase. That's just a little tip for you there. All right, so we're gonna change this as well. Actually, oh, that's so narrow. Let me see. Yeah, let's just go back to the original, just for the sake of not having to reconfigure all the text. All right, so now that I have that done, I'm gonna go ahead and select as much of it as possible. I have to zoom in a little bit to get this box here. And I think I got it all. I'm gonna hit Command G to group it. That's just a keyboard shortcut. And then I'm gonna move it over to this side here. Now I will be changing the top as well, but I just want to start with working on my person. So don't mind my surprise ladies down there. So I'm gonna choose the macro style. I feel like that has typically worked best for me and when it comes to creating people's faces. Like, as you can see down here, like the texture of the skin and everything, it just looks more realistic. And so I found that macro really works well for like people. Like you can see here, beautiful skin. Looks like a real person, especially this one too, looks like a real person. So yeah. All right, so create an African-American woman with long, straight blonde hair with highlights. She is wearing a gold sequined suit with a button-up blazer. Now this is very it's not as descriptive as it could be, but we're just going to play around with it and see what AI comes with. She is facing forward with a soft, welcoming smile. Her arms are crossed. In front of her at waist level. Should it be at waist level? If you can hear it, I'm like putting my arms around my body to see maybe at chest level. All right, we can change that up if it looks crazy. Okay, what else? I typically say like she has like glasses or things of that sort, but I'm gonna leave that there and we're gonna have some fun. Okay. All right. So, okay, well, this one, like, I guess they just figured we didn't need the rest of her head. This one is really nice, but her fingers, her fingers look really jacked up on this side. Like, what's happening here? And she's definitely missing a thumb. This one looks good. Her hands look good. I mean, her nails are a bit questionable. It's not bad. Okay, her smile clearly needs some help. I wonder when they're gonna get those things kind of like down pat. Her smile needs a lot of help. And her fingers are extremely long. This is insane. Especially because her wrist is like all the way down here. So I really want to go with this one, but let's see with this one. Okay, forgot which window I was using. All right, so we're gonna use the background remover. I was trying to decide whether I wanted to expand her body, but we'll see. I'm gonna flip her horizontally just because I'm gonna have her on this side. So another option is to actually flip the bottom photo. And I'm inclined to put a little bit of a highlight or a glow. Just a slight one. All right. So we have her here. And then I'm just gonna brighten her up a little bit. All right, I'm just cropping it so like we have so many things to click on, so I'm trying not to put things in the way. So here at the top, we're gonna have like what her logo would be. I'm just gonna take this and put it behind. Okay, and as you can even see, like these are all the fog spots, by the way. All right, so I'm gonna remove that stuff in the church. So Franco, I think I was watching a show last night where someone's name had Franco in it, so we're just gonna leave that there. Gonna do big shoulders display. Which is all Franco presents. We're gonna center that because it's not centered. There we go. All right, what kind of, we said it was like a business workshop, right? So what do we want to name this? Sell and ship. I don't even know why I'm arranging this because I'm going to change the font. So let me stop doing that. And let's take this situation out from behind. All right, so she looks like a very classy type of lady. So we got to choose a font that is representative of that. That's a good representation. Like that. So as you can see, I'm changing the fonts individually because I don't want it to change the original, because I will do like the before and after. So, but if you don't care that the original is being changed when you have your templates, go ahead and click change all, and it'll make the job a whole lot easier for you and save you a whole lot of time. So that's just a quick tip right there. So sell. And I'm going to change the effect here to rotate it the other way. Sell and ship. And I'm going to change that to, if I could get a goldish color, that would be awesome. Let me try to find the photo here. I don't see it. But I think that works. So let's just assume that these are her colors for right now. Sell and ship. Giselle Franco presents sell and ship. I'm moving that up a bit because it would make a lot of sense to have a little bit of a description, you know, sell and ship, like learn how to 10x your revenue with drop shipping or blah blah blah, just so people have an idea of what they're going to be receiving at the event. Now, as you can probably see, or maybe not, the date and the time, all of that, the font is not working in this situation, because although we've still kind of stuck to 3 fonts here, it just doesn't work. It's not fitting in. So probably gonna change that up a little bit in just a second. I'm gonna go find big shoulders again. And then we're gonna go ahead and put that description. Okay, so we got that, and then I'm just gonna actually, let me move this over slightly before I ungroup it and kind of have to start over from scratch. Okay, ungroup we go. Actually, let me push this photo back so that it's not in the way. All right, so we're gonna use chunk 5. I'm just gonna position everything a bit more nicely. So just give me a moment as I kind of go through that a bit. I'm going to change the line spacing so that's a bit tighter. And then this here, kind of make it a bit bigger. Alright, so if you find that the font that you're changing your design to is not really like the original, in this case you could just make the line at the top and bottom shorter. That way you don't have to feel like you have to fill in all of that space, because you don't, like you truly don't. Alright, so now that we have that part figured out, I can kind of group it again. I'm actually going to change the color in here to, I don't even know if I'm going to find it. But you can use the cool dropper tool, which I think it was even correct. You can use that to get the exact color if you find that you have so many colors in your design and you don't really know what to do. And then I'm actually just going to change all the font here, like the color. I'm going to change it from black to brown. And then I'm just going to darken it a little bit. You know, I know typically folks think that you have to use black as your text font, but the truth is that you just have to use a color that's dark enough and has enough contrast, which means that there's enough separation between the backgrounds and whatever color the font is. And so a lot of times you don't even have to use black, like true black. You can just use dark versions of every color. Every color has its form of a black. In the same way that, you know, we have the brown here, you could essentially do the same thing. And it doesn't take away from whatever it is that you're designing. It doesn't take away from it at all, because at the end of the day, people can still see it clearly. And that's what's most important. And so don't feel like you always have to use black, because you don't. Now I'm just gonna see if I could change this up. And I'm gonna use duotone to do that. So I'm gonna go ahead and go over to the yellows, see if it'll even let me. Oh, see, I even told you guys that I was gonna try to change the color. So even if it's not letting me, what I'm going to do is, see if I should put this down here. What I'm going to do is duplicate this, and I'm gonna delete this photo, go back and put it back in there. I'm gonna flip it horizontally. I'm gonna put it all the way to the back, and then we're gonna put in the duotone with the custom here. So where you see the darker color, I'm gonna hover over to like the yellow and gold, and then you can go ahead and, you know, choose again what may look like black, but it's not like all the way black. And you could also, if you wanted it to be like a yellow or, you know, just another color, you always have that option. You always have the ability to do that. It doesn't always have to be straight out black and white. It could be pink. It could be a dark blue. It could be a bright blue. Like, it could be anything you want it to be very honest with you. It could even be a blue, because we have some blue in there. And I actually think I like the blues better. You know, it could be something like that, which also allows some contrast between the background photo and our lady's sequin suit. So I'm actually going to go with that color. And you can leave the gray, or you can make it fully white if you want. I believe it was all E's. There we go. So that's how we started. But yeah, so there you have it. You know, let's go back to where we started. We started as a praise and worship night flyer, and then we switched it up. You know, we added our sequin lady, changed up the logo or the look of the event, added a description, changed up the fonts and everything. And then we changed the background. Was that even the same photo? Yeah, it was. Just bigger here. I could actually make it a bit bigger too. Yeah, so there you have it, the original again, and then the updated version. So if you're having a webinar or a workshop and you just need a quick flyer, go ahead and find like a church type flyer if you need to, and go ahead and switch it up and make it your own and make it fit your brand, because that's what we're all about. So I hope you enjoyed this episode. Please drop a comment down below on what you thought, and I will catch you guys in the next episode. Bye.